Welcome back to another episode in our podcast series, and today for you guys we have a very special, amazing guest right across from me. I'd like to introduce you guys to Nathan Wyatt. He is the owner of Idaho Gift Baskets, and he actually brought some of his products here today, kind of show it off. And so today on the agenda, we'll kind of be asking, all three of us will be asking Nate different questions about, why they chose Idaho as the home base for their operation, how long they've been in business, what's his favorite part about Idaho, and all that sort of nitty-gritty stuff. So without further ado, Nathan, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate it. So I wonder when people first hear the podcast and they're learning about Idaho. Yeah. Right, and they're learning about kind of the differences in the market and what's happening and stuff like that.
Right.
You're a lender. You're a
title and escrow sales rep. Yep.
And you help sell the homes.
Yep. So basically, the idea behind the name Full Spectrum Real Estate kind of came out of all three of us being that essential tripod of kind of the full spectrum, full scope of everything. Yeah. So if there's somebody that comes to me and has a real estate question, obviously my area of expertise, then if it's a lending question, hand them over to Rick. And if it's a title question, Parker's always available and more than happy to help. So kind of just covers all the bases essentially.
Cradle to grave.
Yeah. I like it. So have you guys seen then the market? Obviously it's been fluxing. I mean, it's been doing that for a long time. When I say a long time, I know that my father-in-law he graduated from Bora, like the first year Bora was even open.
Okay.
Yeah. And his parents farmed out here and all this kind of stuff. So when Katrin and I first met, we met in school. My wife, Katrin and I, we met in school in Denver. And we moved out here because I wanted to go into radio. And my father-in-law, or at the time I was trying to make him my father-in-law kind of thing. But I had...
Easier said than done.
Yeah. His next-door neighbor ran a media and advertising agency here, and he connected me with some guys from KBOI. And so I went in and basically went into KBOI, and Katrin and I got married really young. I was 21 or 22, somewhere in there. And so we had just gotten married, came up here, and when I first met my father-in-law, before we were married, he introduced me to these people, and I landed a job. And so I said, okay, after I get married, I'm going to come up here and do whatever I need to do to get into radio and work with you guys. Yeah. So I was like the radio gopher. I would get up really early. I mean, literally, I would be at the station at 6 a.m.
Yeah, because I feel like in that industry, it's, early to rise.
And then I would be
hanging out for a while.
And this is before anything was pre-automated. So everything was done on tape, but it was really cool. I would go in and I would get everything set up for the early morning guys. So I would get all their Paul Harvey or whatever it was and different news.
Nice.
And everything prepped and ready.
Yeah, so then they would talk and do their thing. And then I would come in late at night and kind of close up and do pre-recorded weather throughout the rest of the night and stuff like that.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
So I did that, and I did not have a day off for like 3 years.
Wow.
Just worked.
Remotes on weekend kind of thing.
Oh, I did everything. Yeah. I worked all the holidays. I
feel like it's a never-ending cycle with that industry.
Because I really wanted to make a name for myself. And at that time, Boise was really small. But what was happening is, from my perspective, I came from Denver, and I grew up there for the most part. And Boise was just so podunk small. You know,
I can imagine back then, yeah.
I was like, there was nothing to do here, you know, and but raise
Pretty
a
much
family.
just farm,
Yeah,
essentially, and farmland and
there. Yeah,
little
our
tiny
girls
towns
used to
here
play
and there.
soccer where the village is, kind of a thing. You know, I used to hunt
Which kind of blows my mind,
pheasants
yeah.
where Costco is and on whatever.
yeah.
So yeah, real. You know, but what's interesting, what's beautiful, I think, is that even with the growth that Boise has had, there's so many people with that same heart. Now, as we've influxed it, and there's a lot more people coming in. There's other people that you get a lot of different.
Well, it's a melting pot at this point, essentially. 'cause
Yeah, but
we've
I
had a
think
lot
it's that
of, you know,
same. There's really an Idaho spirit with a lot of people that are interested in that wonderful connection that is
kind of
brought
adding
about.
to it, or people that have already been here. Like, at least in my opinion, I can kind of tell who the natives
Yeah.
are versus somebody who maybe I've worked with who's coming here for a better life. And by all means, I'm for that. So anybody that is looking at Idaho, by all means, you know, if you're coming here for the right reasons, we always welcome that.
Well, and the reasons really, I
But-
think, is I mean, there's a lot of industry that's moving here now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Which is pretty cool.
And then there's, I think there's a lot of opportunities that we are really benefiting from. I think
Yeah.
our business has benefited from it. I would imagine your all's business, but it still has this ebbs and flows.
Sure.
Absolutely. It's a roller coaster ride. You know,
Yeah.
depending upon the month.
But the same thing was happening when I was younger because I ended up working then for my father-in-law, and he owned stores that were. This was pre-Hobby Lobby and Michael's and Joann's. Boise didn't have any of that.
yeah.
So he had stores that were like that. They were 40,000 square foot big superstores, and it was where everybody went.
Mhm.
And I remember one lady telling me she was telling me that she was writing a check on a piece of paper,
Okay.
and I looked at her like, "What planet are you from?" You
Man, we
can't-
don't accept checks.
Well, I was like, "You can't do that." She says,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I can." I said, "I don't think you can." And anyway, I called
How
her father.
old are you? dude?
Right, but so
Come over on the Mayflower?
Yeah.
What's the deal?
so she came,
that's awesome.
or so I called my father-in-law, and he came down. He was upstairs. He came down and I was like, "This lady says he knows you, whatever, blah blah blah."
I kind of
And-
explained the situation, yeah.
Kind of explain the situation, and I can't remember exactly how it was resolved, but I remember my father-in-law saying that the town had this honest approach to it. It was this honest
Yeah.
handshake approach.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is pretty
That-
cool, yeah.
People just trusted each other.
Oh, you're saying she was writing just a random, like it was a regular piece of paper, but she's writing a quote unquote check on it.
Yep.
Gotcha now. I
And
thought
I
you
can't
were,
remember
Yeah.
if he took it or not.
I was
don't
like, it's like
remember.
the first time you saw a check, I was like, buddy. Anyway.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
can
I
Okay.
Do
just-
that?
But so recently, my wife and I were leaving for a trip, and we were at the airport, and there was this lady, and we ended up talking to her. She was from Reno. She thought it was incredible that there was a right as you first go into the airport there as you're heading into the gates. I forget if it's Einstein's or what it is, bagel, but it has coffee and bagels there, and it's basically honor system. If you want a coffee, it's $3. If you want a bagel, whatever, it's $3, and put
So
honor.
they just trust that people are going to.
This lady was she was blown away.
Huh.
Like, what is going on?
Well, you don't see that too often nowadays, so.
I
you know.
guess not, but I think that's the beauty of this area.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what made us want to do Idaho Gift Baskets. It's made us want to stay here.
Mhm.
And it's something the longer I've been here, when I saw her, I kind of realized I really take this for granted.
Yeah.
How beautiful
So-
it is. Not that there isn't, dirtbags who probably do stupid things out there anyway, who take too much coffee and bagels. But the
hard to
idea
get away
that
from that,
they
but-
had that available was incredible.
Yeah.
The trust of people.
Sure.
So just to backtrack here, so you went from radio to essentially working with your father-in-law
Yeah.
for quite a while, And then if you kind of just want to tell everybody when you officially started Idaho Gift Baskets and how you transitioned from working, with your father-in-law, going into your own business.
Yeah.
And what it's like working with your wife.
Yeah.
Kind of a partner in crime and how things have been going.
Super good. Thank you. So we had, so I really understood retail and did a lot of exploring the state, sold a lot of, ended up going into sales and made my way all throughout Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, Eastern Oregon, Eastern Washington, and just selling to different stores, different stuff. That's just what I did. And then I would go to the World Trade Center shows in Atlanta, Dallas, Vegas, wherever.
That's cool.
Different times of the year and meet bigger buyers like from Albertsons or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I really started understanding that retail idea and how it worked and what was happening.
The whole dynamic of it.
Yeah. And meanwhile, as that was happening, some good friends of ours started Idaho Gift Baskets in 2000.
Oh, okay.
And we understood it and knew it. And it was more of just a really small B2B kind of a thing out of our garage. And then it grew. The more I started selling, I started seeing that Idaho was picking up this momentum like people loving their state like Texans and Montanans love their state. Like people from Montana love 406, we're 406, man. We love this state.
Very passionate about it.
Yeah, and Texans thinks everything's bigger and better in Texas kind of a thing. Idaho
Especially
really
their
started
coast.
getting this buzz, I felt like, and I was selling a lot of product that had that vibe in Sun Valley, Coeur d'Alene, or out near Yellowstone, and da-da-da. So I came home one time and said, we're going to start a gift basket company. I think we could do something like this. I really do. I think we could sell Idaho product, and I'm going to go full on Idaho stuff.
Yeah.
So Katrin said, okay, that's good. So we went and to do a little homework, we called up our friends and said, hey, would you want to go to dinner with us? And I'm thinking about doing something. I don't want to compete with you exactly. Well, during that dinner, they said, we want out. We want to go raise our family and have time.
So
with
very
our
good
kids.
timing for you guys.
And we were like, really? They're like, yeah. A month later, we bought it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that was May of 19, and we've been very, very fortunate. It's been really good to us.
When
We've
I kind of wanted
expanded.
to speak to that too, because just to let you guys know, as Nate was talking about, basically they took a business that, from what you've told me, it was basically kind of ran by the wife of, the previous owners. The husband had essentially kind of bought the company for the wife to kind of keep her busy, keep her, doing her thing. But the scale of it, what is so impressive to me is how crazy and how much you've blown it up in the best way possible. Cause
you saw last quarter, in the fourth quarter, Andrew was looking at it going, what is going on?
I mean, it's not only impressive, but it's pretty mind-blowing to think that you guys took a business that, granted the lady that owned it before, she did do business, but it was down here in my opinion. And, you and Katrin rocket shipped it. It's just insanely how well you guys are doing now, and you guys are still growing. So, to see that ambition, to see the amount of work you guys have put into it and the success, you guys helping out local businesses, it's awesome to see that, man. So
thanks, man.
Yeah,
it's cool the direction
it's
going.
nice to see that demand is being met too, because it's tough to find a good gift basket that looks professional. And
especially with between clients,
Right.
and then even clients for you guys too. So it's kind of a win-win for all four of us essentially.
That's our biggest the biggest vision I saw was I understood what most people envisioned a gift basket is what I would think of. A wicker basket my grandma made with some stuff in it.
Yeah.
Which had its place, and we sell some of that. So we definitely do some of that stuff. But I saw it more as 90%, or actually it's a crazy number, but over 90% of our business is actually not even done online with one-off people. It's all B2B. And that's where companies hire us to make their own box, and we put their logo on it. And then they usually give us their swag, and we are their logistics. So we have become more of a logistic company. Yeah, that's what we do.
Well, and the craziest part about that too is that by doing this, when they're actually receiving this as an employee for whatever company you guys are working with, the way that you best described it to me is it's an experience for them. And so what they're paying for is the experience essentially, and whether that's good or bad, and in your case, 9 times out of 10, in my opinion, it's usually a good experience because of the amount of repeat and referral business you guys get too.
100, yeah.
And so, if you guys, are in the market for anything, gift basket related, these guys not only sell the baskets, but they sell an incredible experience behind it.
The biggest thing is there's a lot of companies, without dropping a bunch of names, that have product. Even we even work with companies that you would never think, what kind of product do they have? But they have. We put things like note cards or manuals or SOPs, standard operation procedures, into a box with someone's logo, and then we'll put a couple of $20 worth of snacks. Is all. So then when a new employee takes on, or a new client, or they're trying to woo a customer, and these are companies that are sending out 300-400 of them a month, and they'll say, hey, we want this to go boom, and then they'll provide us, and then so it looks like it came from them. Yep. But it has. So what the cool story is, so there's a guy, I don't know if I brought any of his stuff, but there's a guy that during COVID, we buy, his name is Dave. He roasts cinnamon almonds. He's down at the city marketplace, has been down there for 30 years. He roasts almonds. That's his job. That's what he does. Wonderful man, very humble, very quiet, salt of the earth kind of guy. And during COVID, of course, all that stopped. And we weren't really thinking of it. Our business shot up because we were able to sell online and we were able to deliver food and alcohol, which are essential. so
luckily it was essential, yeah.
So it became an essential business. And so we started figuring out really quick, wow, we could deliver this stuff and become like a DoorDash and for companies. And companies were calling us and saying, we want to do something special for all the nurses. We want to do something special for all the first responders. We want to do something special for all of our people who are at home. And we were just
crazy demand.
Crazy demand.
Yeah.
So this guy, Dave, comes in and says, man, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do this. I'm going to have to try and go find a job. Are you guys hiring? Whatever. And Katrin, my wife, says, what's happening? And he tells her the story. I do this. No more marketplace. I don't have it. Mm-hmm. Katrin said, everybody's going to get your almonds from now on. Yep. And we made him so busy that he actually was like, I'm good. Like
turning away business is kind
of almost where he was just like, I've got so much. That's where our heart really began to be like, oh wow, like these people. So you guys have to try these. So do you like jalapeno?
Absolutely.
Try some. So this is jalapeno. This is this guy. He's out in Aberdeen, Idaho, which is out in the eastern part where all the potato fields are. Dude, you would like those, Andrew. I think those are good for your diet.
Yeah. I'm just letting Rick take a look. Then, and Nate, if you don't mind too, just
remember, you like those.
I love those.
So these guys' roots, we found them and started just understanding how. Yeah, I probably shouldn't give you chips on a podcast thing. That's kind of.
Does it sound good?
just don't get too close to the mic,
But what happened is we started seeing the impact that we could have for local mom and pops. This lady, Emily, she runs Emily's Candies.
Those are amazing.
She quit her job with the state and does this full time now with blessings because we just want to support people to get their stuff out. Yeah. Yep. So when they get something from us, sometimes it doesn't even have any of our name on it, and we don't sell it online like this. Our goal is really simple. We want to be the conduit. And we want to do it in a fashion that is white glove, high class. Mm-hmm. So it's not always cheap, but more than likely it's cheaper than what it would be if you went to buy this and put it together.
Yeah.
But our average sale is high. It's about $125. But like a box, a lot of times people get a box for $50.
Yeah.
We have some for 30 or 40.
So it varies, yeah.
It varies. But what happens is, and I think it's important, and what you guys do, it's like that when you understand and see the need that someone wants, we do not complicate it. We just understand that this person wants to send something to this employee, and we make it like they picked it out themselves. And we make it so remarkable that they not only will order from us again, that is our marketing. That's what we do when we market. Most of the big clients that we have been people who said, I received something from somebody. I received a crate, or I received a box of stuff. This stuff's cool. Tell us more about what you guys can do. And that's really what our heart is in doing that. And it seems to work. And I think, like, even in your line of business, it's like when you meet those people who are coming here, that's what I was kind of referring to, where that style, it's ingrained in this state. It's here.
Right.
Well, and, most of the time, at least from my experience, I've bought a lot of baskets through you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole experience that I love about real estate, at the very, very end, when we go in to title and we're signing everything, and I honestly, Nate, I can't tell you how excited I am to, kind of have the basket there with me and present it to them, and just to see their face light up even more, because they're already happy that they're getting a house, and then to add something like this that is a surprise. It's got a lot of, basically a lot of Idaho-based companies, pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
And so it not only introduces them to amazing products that are local, but it's a win-win-win for you guys, for them, because chances are, I've had clients actually reach out to me and say, hey, where'd you get that gift basket? Like, oh, my two good friends, Nate and Katrin, they're the owners. Let me send you to their website.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys have gotten more repeat and referral business out of it, because you guys killed it on the basket, the presentation, and everything inside the basket. And then it makes me look like a hero, as a real estate agent, because I'm presenting this to them, and they're blown away 9 times out of 10.
So I think that's the key with what you guys do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's important that people feel like they can trust you, obviously.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And you have to be transparent, I think, in that. So one of the things we do is we understand that the most important person during our transaction is actually the buyer. Because
absolutely, yep.
if you spend $125 on this and I ship it and that's it, I mean, you might be like, I wonder if they got it, or because not everybody always calls up and says,
you're like,
hey,
there's
Parker,
no communication
thank you.
after that.
Right. So what we do is we put in our stuff a paid postage or postcard that says send this. I used to handwrite then your address. I stopped doing that, but I still have a pre-postage, and it just basically it's a pre-done postcard that says thank you, happiness was delivered, we loved it.
Yeah.
And then all they have to do is fill out your address and send it to you. And then it also has on there, we use Lingo. We have Lingo, and which is a great local company that's based here in the Kiln. But they then we have a little QR code that then if they scan it, basically says, hey, there are ways that you could share Idaho love. Call the person, let them know thank you. Send another basket. Send out the prepaid postcard to somebody.
That's smart, yeah.
Then the other thing that we do, Parker, is I'll take a picture of it. Our delivery guys, whoever they are, will take a picture of it and text it to you or email it to you. So you will receive a picture of it in front of the house with the address on it, or at the front desk of the office, or the whole thing, or whatever. I just delivered one up to Garden Valley. It was actually this beautiful this home that was
just gorgeous house.
Oh, I think they own money trees around here or something because it was all money tree stuff. But it was so amazing.
I love it.
But so they ordered, like, I don't know, like 14 or 15 of these boxes, and they had their logo on it, did all this kind of stuff. And we set it up and took a picture of it. And it was for this event thing they were doing up there. But then what's great is then the buyer then knows this was delivered. And this is what it looked like. And
and that's the value proposition of it too, because then they're like, this is where my money is being well spent. And here's the proof, kind of the proof in the pudding of like, hey, here's your picture for you, just to let you know, like, this is what it looks like. And it's kind of the presentation of it.
Yeah. And I think also the transparency, because that's the thing I think that when anyone does any kind of transaction, the biggest transaction they'll ever make in their life, most people, is a home.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely, yep.
So, and with how crazy it has been the last 3 years, from prices that were absurdly low prior to COVID
to skyrocketing,
stupid high,
yep.
and the rates going cuckoo. No one can figure it out except for probably you guys.
Yeah.
But that's why I think that same idea on this level has produced a lot, because it just has produced a sense of trust. And then the repeat business we get, thankfully, is super high.
Yep.
Our B2B business is over 2/3 of our businesses always come back.
It's
Almost 100% come back at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really high. And then our one-offs consumers business is over 30% of a repeat business. So we feel like that's really good.
Well, it's a testament to the fact that you guys are going in the right direction. You guys are growing, continuing to grow. So what you're doing is working. But I think to your point that you made earlier, you guys are constantly improving also, so that, you can blow it up even more. And I just think it's so cool that you guys are supporting local business, helping that grow. And then in our sector of things too, it makes us, feel like we're helping that by supporting it, by purchasing baskets for our clients. So it's just
and
awesome.
It doesn't have to be expensive either. I want people to know too, we do a lot of bags and boxes that are under $30. When I mean a lot,
well, this is a good example of a type of box, and you guys have many, but this is like your standard that you probably send out to businesses and or maybe one-offs that want something smaller, right? And you can pick and choose what you want in that box too.
Oh yeah. And the thing is also, we'll put your logo. So here's the thing too, we will take your logo, and I wish I brought some, but anyway, there's a lot of companies that we will make it, we will take their own cards and print whatever they want on it. So, and they can say, make it completely personal. So Parker, you could say, I want this to go to this lady, and I want my logo on the front, but I don't want my face on it. Okay, no problem. And we want the colors of my company. We can do that. And we can do no extra charge, zero.
That's awesome.
Ever. And the reason we do that is because that's what I would want.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's a part of the business. Like, I'm in business to be transparent and to be the best I can, and I want people to be able to feel like they could call me up and say, Nate, I want these. And then once they get the idea of what we do, it's so simple. I mean, they literally will call us or email us and say, do the same as what you did last time. We need 20 of them. I'll email you the addresses. Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
And then we do like lots of bags, and sometimes people just want something, and even if it's under $20 or $20, like we have a wine, it's a bag that looks like you'd put a wine bottle in it. And we have a company that we just tie on a little thing that has their logo on it. We put in a bottle of water. I think one of these guys, and some chocolate and stuff, not a whole lot, but we deliver it for them. And you thought that these people were getting $1 million, and the type of response that they get, because it's really cool.
It's just a nice small gesture that goes a long way, and it means a lot to them.
Yeah. And again, I think that's Idaho, and that's that transparency that people expect from good businesses. because as you guys know how hard it is to try and get out there in the marketing world. It's saturated with everyone on everything.
Yep.
No matter if you're trying TikTok or YouTube or anything, the way you set yourself apart is how you conduct and do business.
Yep. And Treasure Valley is a small little niche. Everybody talks.
Yeah.
So if you treat people the right way, good things are coming your way. And if you aren't doing that, then eventually that's going to catch up and people are going to find out. And to your point, especially running your own business, that's either going to hurt you a lot or, help you grow. So the fact that you are running things right and doing the right thing is awesome. And Nate, if people do want to find out more information about, your guys' company, if you want to just give the website and all your social media tags so we can.
They just Google Idaho Gift Baskets.
Okay.
And then go where it takes you.
Wherever the wind blows.
As far as like Facebook and Instagram, I know you guys do post pictures over there and all that. So if you guys want to see like the product and a lot of pictures that they've done for like businesses, he's out posted some really cool stuff over there that you guys can read or look at. But if you guys do want to order anything, their main website is the place to go.
Idaho Gift Baskets. You could find whatever you want off of that, and we can do lots of custom and do anything. A lot of the things we post online is, when companies bless other people. Like we have one company that sends out stuff every year to first responders, police.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and every single police station, paramedic station, there's a lot of them.
That's a lot of orders, yeah.
There's a lot of them. I've delivered to a lot of places, and you can't get in some of those places, man.
I can see it being a little tricky, a little tricky.
I'm like showing up
He's
like
pretty talented like
I'm
that.
like showing up like, hey, I got a box here
I'm
for the police guys. You want a box?
It's a bomb. It's a bomb.
Whoa.
We did have one time. One of our delivery guys, an older delivery guy, went out to Melba or somewhere, I can't remember, and delivered to this lady, and she made him open up the box thinking there was something on it. He's like, okay.
He's like, all right.
I got maced today.
People are good, man. They're funny.
Awesome.
They make you laugh.
They do, absolutely.
Well, Nate, we wanted to thank you for coming on today. We,
thank you.
Appreciate you sharing your, story behind how kind of all this came to be, what your guys' mission and value, and kind of the growth that you guys have experienced through Idaho Gift Baskets. Anything else that people should know before we go today?
No, I think it's. I really appreciate you guys having me on, and love what you're doing. I think it's really important. Again, the transparency, and I think that's the beautiful thing about what you're being able to do on your podcast is just be completely open and transparent, and to let people hopefully understand and learn a little bit more before they make some big decisions.
Yeah, it just kind of peels back the confusion, the layer of like transparency that we're trying to provide for anybody that might be confused about the home buying process, local companies that we work with, and so we're just kind of trying to shine a spotlight on you guys. And then, ultimately at the end of the day, we feel like everybody wins and benefits from it. So, we love your company. We think it's awesome, the amount of growth you guys are having. And, can't wait to give a couple more baskets to our clients for sure.
Cool, man.
So we wanted to thank you guys for tuning in today. And once again, I'm Andrew Marshall with MHC Realty.
Rick Gillespie with CMG Home Loans.
Parker Morgan over at Fidelity National Title.
And Nate.
Oh, that's me. Idaho
and
Gift Baskets.
Nate Wyatt with Idaho Gift Baskets.
www.idahogiftbaskets.com.
Check it out.
Thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys have a good one.